What up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I go to Badala Entrepreneur. You guys found out. You basically know we going live right now. I got my good friend Cosmo Graphics over here. We figured out this problem we were having with the live last time. He was echoing, couldn't get us on each other's side, but we got him right next to me. And hopefully, you guys enjoy this live. And we're just gonna go ahead and get started. Talk about what we're gonna talk about. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Just working on orders, trying to get some more clientele, and
Yeah.
just trying to like launch my Etsy shop, man. Just been really focusing on that.
How's the printer working for you? You liking it so far?
Yeah, it's a learning curve, man. It's basically I kind of figured it out now, like the pressing part. Um, let me show you right over here my StarCraft 12 by 15 heat press right there. I would recommend a swing away though. But once I figured that out, got the Teflon pillows, figure out like how to press it nice to where it's infused into the shirt. So I've been loving that. So I feel more confident now selling my transfers and selling shirts when I do launch my Etsy shop.
That's what I'm talking about. And the only way you gain confidence like that is just by practicing. It's going to cost money to do this type of business. You got to put your money into it. Got to make sure you have the right products, make sure you have the right materials, make sure you have a t-shirt on deck. Blank shirts always, because you can't press if you don't have a blank shirt. So
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like I'm kind of like struggling now. Like how much should I have on deck? How much should I order? I don't really have t-shirts, so I need to order a whole bunch of shirts. But I'm trying to figure out like, do I need 100 shirts? Do I need 50 shirts? Like how many sizes? What kind of colors? So that's what I'm kind of like struggling with a little bit right now. Trying to figure out exactly how much shirts do I want on deck.
yeah, I seen at a couple Facebook groups and seeing online because I personally haven't got started yet, but I seen people limit it to maybe just like two different sizes when they first start off, maybe like medium and large because those are like the most popular sizes. And then when they go to the color, either black or white, something neutral that you can just have two different colors and then just have a couple of designs, keep it simple so that way you can build some traction and not overwhelm yourself spending all the
Mhm.
money trying to have all these different shirts. But the difference is me and you, well, as far as you can print out your own design. So as long as the shirt is blank, you could put any design on there. So you can kind of interchange your designs on your website.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing though. Like having that kind of like ability to do that, like am I gonna get like, you know am I gonna be overwhelmed to where I can't have certain shirts on deck? And then how about like it's 2 in the morning and I get a whole bunch of orders and I don't have shirts? So that's what, because I can always go to Michael's, because a lot of times they do have their shirts on sale for $3 a piece. So it's whatever, I can always go to Michael's and pick up some shirts. But then at the same time, a lot of people are doing this business, so a lot of times I can't even find the shirts at my local retail stores anyway. So I'm trying to like, so basically what I'm thinking of doing, um, so I got that shelf right there. I'm thinking about getting a, so I have that Craftman shelf, Craftman. It's right there in next to my workbench area. You'll see it when I do videos there. I'm thinking of getting one more, putting it there, and then having that shelf just all filled with shirts, man. Just completely filled with different sizes shirts, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about just dropping like maybe $500 just on one big bulk order from Shirt Space. That's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
about doing.
I mean, as long as you have it and you know you're going to invest in it and it's just going to sit there and you possibly make your money back, that's an investment. You know you can possibly get a return. So that's what is all about business is taking that chance
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
taking that step.
Yeah. So how do you do it, man? Like, what's your thought about like, you know, how many shirts are you gonna have on deck, and which ones you know what to pick and stuff like that?
See, I'm kind of lucky because where I'm living, I'm in a state where I guess production business like this is more popular, I guess, like Miami, Orlando, Daytona, Miami Beach. I'm close to, or Tampa. I'm close to at least within 2 hours or 3 or 4 hours of all these locations. And
Oh
all these
wow.
locations get imported with, of course, all products from all over the world. And a lot of t-shirt wholesale people are located in Tampa, Orlando, and Miami. So I
Wow.
can directly go to these people and place an order and actually pick it up if I really wanted to. But for smaller orders, like you said, either I have, depending on the shipping time, because if I am doing a custom, automatically it's going to take at least 21 days, like 7 to 21 days, because it's a custom order,
Yeah.
because I have to get it's being made to the order. So when I order a shirt online from any website, I am so close to them that even if it is being shipped, it only takes a day or two.
Wow, that's
And if
crazy,
it
man.
gets backed up, the latest I had it was maybe 3 or 4 days. So I can even just get an order the shirt after, get it come in, and then press it. Because depending on the transfers I have on deck, no matter what,
Yeah.
I always have to have the transfers because I'm not able to print it out on any fabric like you are. I can do it on a sublimation, or I need a transfer from Supercolor or a white tone transfer that I didn't even know they sell now, but now I do. So bunch of different transfers I can try.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Different companies on YouTube's that they coming up with their own transfers and their own methods on printing and things like that. It's crazy, man. But it's just the thing is, though, it's like when you get something new like this, it's like starting. It's like me relearning myself how to do the whole t-shirt business again, basically, because now you got to figure out your heat press a little bit more, and it's crazy, man. It's just like it took me maybe 3 days, not all together though, but I want to say at least 72 hours to kind of perfect my craft. But how much money did I waste? Over $100.
Exactly.
But at least I got the knowledge and learned from my mistakes. That's the important thing though, man. Because see, the thing is though, a lot of people when they get something like this and it doesn't work out, they start freaking out, they start panicking, and that panic and freaking out prevents them from actually learning it, and then they start bashing it, they start putting it down, and then and then by me reading those reviews and that negativity, I started to hate it a little bit because I wasn't figuring it out. But I'm like, no, I got to figure it out. Once I figured it out, I'm like, man, this is easy. Whereas people like, yeah, it's gonna cost money because they're complaining on how much it costs. I mean, to replace just the white ink for this thing, it's going to cost me about $400 just to replace it. But you're going to get your money back and then some. People are just complaining about, oh, it costs too much money. That's business. If you're worried about the money, get out of the business, man. It doesn't. I don't care what you're doing. You starting a small business isn't for you if you're not going to throw money at your business to make it work.
And that's exactly true. If you're not willing to put the money into it, then you're not going to see the success. You got to be able to work and lose money
Oh
so that
yeah,
way you can actually win the money, because you won't know what works if you don't fail, if you don't try
exactly.
things. Being comfortable and not knowing, that's not the way to go. You got to be on the other side, just go for it, because anybody can do this. Anybody can make a shirt. Just like I had a video where my friend just came right over and
I've
I
seen
just
that.
explained to him how to make a shirt, and it came right off, easy as that. All you have to do is practice and actually try it. The one thing holding everybody back is fear and anxiety, because they're scared to go move forward.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had anxiety. I mean, I suffer from anxiety. You know, all my life, but I don't let it like interfere with what I need to do and what I need to accomplish. And I mean, like you said before, if you know what I'm saying on here, like when you say you overthink
Yeah, go
sometimes
ahead.
the process. I mean, same thing here, man. Like I overthink a lot. I'm like, man, am I like with the whole shirt thing? I'm overthinking. Oh, how much shirts do I need? And I'm just overthinking that process. And I want like okay, so I don't regret selling my Sawgrass because okay, so with this printer, I'm able to do mugs and everything as is. I have the paper for it, but the extra process is just not worth it to me. I'd rather just get a sublimation printer. But see, at first, I was just kind of like, man, I need to. have mugs. I need to have hats. I need to have tumblers because I ordered like tumblers and I can't really do nothing with them now until I get a sublimation printer. And I was thinking like, man, I need to add this. I need this. I need this much design. Then when I finally calmed myself down, I was like, no, I don't need all that. Just let me just launch some shirts. Let me launch a few designs. Let me just add to the shop when I could. Let me just get some sales, and then I can upgrade my equipment. I can get the things that I need to add more to the shop. And then once I start thinking like that, it's just a lot easier. The only thing that I'm overthinking right now is the t-shirts, man. But how do you overcome your overthinking, man?
I'm still having problems with it. It's
Yeah.
still hard. But one thing I try and do is just like sit back and just like calm myself down. Like, okay, what do I really need? What am I trying to accomplish? What is the goal that I'm trying to go for? And then I just try and go from there. But I was having problems lately trying to create my own designs, always make my own designs. And then you showed me that there's other ways you can buy them. There's licensing and all that stuff. And just the stress of trying to create something is stressful just because you don't know if it's good and you don't know if it's going to sell. And just even coming up with something that nobody else has come up with is pretty hard as it is too.
Yeah.
But just seeing other designs as well online, I bought a couple. I can show everybody in a couple minutes. And if you have anything to show, you can go ahead and show them.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is though, okay, I like what you show me is pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna shortcut it. It's like you're good at it. Now you have advantage that most people like myself don't have because you can create something that you're the only one that has that design, and you can sell a premium if you want. Because if someone wants that design and it's only coming from you, well, they gotta pay extra. So is that something that you ever thought about? Like, at least I can have something that no one else has, and I can charge whatever I want.
Yeah, I thought about like doing graphic designing and all like that because when I was more in the high school and younger days, I did take classes like that. But I definitely want to learn, like home learn, because a lot of ways you can learn now is just through YouTube and going online and finding videos and stuff. And one future thing I want to get is an iPad Pro or even an iPad, something I can get the Apple Pen and kind of get an image and kind of trace over and create my own logo and all things like that. I've been watching videos and stuff. I just don't have the equipment yet to do it, but it's all future goals. And I learned a little bit how to use Photoshop, and it wasn't the paid version. I think it was called Inkscape. It's like the free version.
Yeah, I got that one as well.
Yeah,
Inkscape.
I used that a little bit, and I learned how to use it, but it's just harder than using a pen. It's like tracing, it's like a pencil. But
I used to have the drop head. Yeah, I used to have that.
Yeah.
When I first got started, and I was watching videos that were saying like you can get like a picture and you can make it to an SVG file or something. Yeah. I was like, man, that's too much work, man, for me to be doing for a business. And so I just stopped it. I got like a cheap like drawing pad from like Amazon. I ended up getting rid of it because I'm like, I don't need this. I still have the program on my computer, but I don't know. It's something because I wanted to do something like if I didn't have this printer, I probably would have just ordered a whole bunch of transfers from like Supercolor or DTF and then just basically had a whole bunch on deck, you know what I mean? Because I've been watching a lot of YouTubers where they use other companies that I never heard about too, and they'll just have them on deck. They'll have like the shelves I showed you just covered with just their inventory, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm planning on doing since I don't have it the way you do. Once I do have designs that end up taking traction, I'm just going to get maybe 100 transfers and have it in a cabinet or something and do it like that. But one thing touching back, another reason trying to graphic design my own shirts is kind of hard is because I'm trying to start my own t-shirt business as well.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to balance that, trying to make a design just for one shirt and then trying to sell the shirts as well. It's kind of like, what am I trying to get started with first? So that's one thing I was overthinking at first too, because I wasn't going to launch a t-shirt business until I created a design. and then I kind of ended up going a different route.
That's funny. Same thing here. When I was like, man, I need to do this, I need to do that, to where it's like just launch the t-shirt business. Because when I first started, okay, when I first invested into this business, I want to do t-shirts and mugs. I can't really do mugs. I don't have a sublimation right now, so I'm just gonna launch t-shirts. And once I get the funds for me to get a sublimation printer, the one that I want is the F170 Epson. That's a sublimation printer Epson makes, and they have sublimation ink, so you don't have to convert it or anything like that. It's $400. This is, it would cost me the same amount if I would have gotten the ink from my Sawgrass, and then I'll just start selling mugs. But right now, I'm just like, I'm just gonna focus on t-shirts right now, and then just go from there.
So now that sublimation printer you have, if you put a different sublimation in there, does it void it?
Yeah. Now I was thinking about buying Cosmos inks because they do make it for it. They actually have their own DTF machine and ink now. Cosmos
Yeah,
ink.
they do. I didn't know
And
that.
yeah, so they've been really expanding, but I didn't want to risk ruining my Sawgrass, so I'm like, let me just sell it. Let me get the money because the ink would have cost me 175 for all four, which is a steal of a deal versus 400. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, let me just sell it. I take care of my things. It was still basically brand new,
Exactly.
and I'm like, it would just be sad if I just messed it up. Let me just sell it to someone that's going to appreciate it and that's hopefully going to make money like how I did with it. So that's why I sold it.
Yeah, and it's funny you talking about Cosmos ink because that's actually the ink I have in my Epson 2720, and I got a print I can show everybody. If you guys are just joining the live, appreciate you guys joining. I got this right here. This is sublimation. Came from Epson converted 2720 printer. If I scoot over to the side, you can kind of see it right over here. And it's Bluetooth. That's the reason it attracted me. It is not that big. I believe it goes up to maybe like that. The biggest I did was 8.5 by 11. I think it goes a tad bit higher, like 11 by 14. I think that's the biggest it goes, but this is what it made. And this is Cosmos ink. You guys can see the color. It looks faded on here, but that's just the way sublimation is.
Yeah.
And when you actually transfer it, it will pop out. And I do have a couple of shirts I can press this on.
Yeah, that's why because Epson, they're when you print out, they don't use like heat technology. That's why like you can't convert like a Megatink, which is the Canon, because once you do that and it prints out, it's gonna mess up your sublimation ink right when it prints out because it uses like heat or something when it prints out.
Yeah,
Same thing with this, man. When I print out with this, the paper could be coming out like warm, not like to the point where I can't touch it, but it comes out warm. You know what I mean? With this, when I print them out.
Yeah, the sublimation paper comes out a little bit warm, but the ink comes out wet, so you have to like let it dry out a little bit.
Oh, it does. Okay, with mine's it didn't. With mine's
once I don't know if it's just because it's a converted printer and it's not a technical sublimation printer or something like that. I may release too much ink as well because I did mess with the settings to basically release extra ink into the paper just because I wanted to actually have it when I convert it over.
Yeah, because with the Sawgrass, I think it's a different sublimation. I think it's like a gel based or something. So as soon as it prints out, I can run my hand over it and it's completely dry. Yeah.
This one's a little damp. You can tell it's wet.
You could, okay, yeah.
So you have to let it air dry, and then after it air dries for maybe like a couple seconds, it don't take too long. But like when I first did this, you can actually see this Y. It was real dark, and then now it's kind of like just in the paper.
In the paper, okay.
Yeah.
So you're planning on doing? So I know we were talking about heat press, man. So when are you planning on upgrading your heat press, and why? And why would you like?
I definitely want to upgrade soon, but I want to keep practicing on here because to make that investment on the next one, I have to have the funds for it. So I want to get some money coming in before I get basically make a big purchase like that right now. And it's definitely going to be in the future, probably within a year, I'm hoping. And when the one reason I do want to upgrade is just because I want to swing away. I don't want to be under the heat anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to have a press that's unreliable with the heat temperature, because I have to have a heat gun now. Even though when I do have the new one, I'm still going to use a heat gun just to make sure. But it's just knowing that every time I use this, it's going to be the same result every single time. And with a cheaper press, it's not going to be like that because it's not as good quality.
Yeah, that YouTuber, the one I was telling you about. Let me go back to, I think it's Basement 215. I think you should check him out. Yeah, Basement 215. So he has a cheaper knockoff Amazon heat press, and I like watching his stuff because he orders a lot of like transfers from different companies, from different YouTubers. He tries them out, and he launches Etsy, and it's very simple stuff too. And he was confident enough to launch his Etsy, and I'm like, so what's stopping me from doing this? That's why I like watching other YouTubers like that. And he has like a knockoff one on Amazon as well, and he's doing pretty good. I mean, he does have the heat gun too because he has to make sure. So every time he's pressing, he's making sure like the right temperature. He figured out his heat press to where sometimes he has to adjust it differently, like how I have to adjust it differently with printing out transfers coming from that printer right there. But he has like a whole bunch of inventory. He has orders coming out, not just from Etsy, but from outside of online as well. And he's doing pretty good. And he said that like he's just gonna upgrade till his heat press dies out on him because he doesn't see a reason why to upgrade. But that's motivation right there. That's like kind of like that's what I like to see is other people's success that's coming up like how we're coming up. So I'm like, we can do it too. We just got to keep focused and keep grinding, man.
Exactly. And that's basically like anything I watch. If you go on my TikTok or if you watch anything, it's always going to be something positive, because I found out that myself, I need to see positive things. I need to hear it like all throughout the day, so that way I can stay in a positive attitude, stay positive and keep going. So if I'm scrolling down my TikTok and then there's a motivational speech, that can probably get me umped up again, and then be like, all right, we got this now. Let's keep going. Because just like you said, he's going to keep that heat press until it goes down.
Yeah.
And that's one reason I like honestly haven't upgraded or even went for the like big press in the beginning, is because I was like, why do I need to spend $2,000 when I don't even have a customer base?
Yeah.
Like I don't have people coming to buy my stuff yet. I don't even know if I liked making t-shirts when I first started. I know I had the interest, but it was like, am I actually going to be interested in it? Like, do I like the work? And then I ended up liking it, ended up learning the heat press. And I don't know, I think maybe learning on this when I go to a better heat press and maybe harder or easier. I don't know, because it's going to be like so easy that it's difficult, or I don't know.
No, I think it'll be easier, man, because I started off with the easy press, which I still have. I love my Cricut Easy Press 2. So I think it's a 12 by 10. I love that thing, especially for a small project. I don't always have to get like the big heat press if I'm doing like projects that are small, and I don't, you know what I mean? And it's heats up a lot faster. It doesn't get in the way and things like that. And then I got a, how you pronounce it? Sizer heat press, 9x12 scissor, 9x12 heat press. And I ended up selling that. It was a good heat press. I loved it, but I sold it to get my 12 by 15 swing away just because I wanted the attachments for the hat and the tumblers, but then apparently it comes with plates attachments as well. So I might be looking into doing some plates. And my two main heat press are StarCraft, which is they're amazing companies. But one thing I noticed with, I got from swing.com. You know that website, Swing Design?
What is it?
Are you familiar with Swing Design?
No.
That's where like you could buy like a whole like this. You could buy like printers like this. You could buy like the big vinyl cutters, like the higher end stuff as well. And that's where I got like a lot of my big stuff. That's where I got my Sawgrass from when I had my Sawgrass. That's where I got my two heat press. So let's say, for example, you want to buy like a heat press. Sometimes they'll bundle it with like vinyl cutters or printers. So StarCraft has a 15x15 swing away that comes with all the attachments. I'm thinking about buying it. It's on sale for $620, which is a really good deal for something like that. Similar to my clamshell, but again, it's a swing away. And they advertise that with a printer like this, but they don't advertise the clamshell, but they would advertise the swing away with something like this. So that right there is telling me if you want to get a printer like this, a clamshell and what you have, it's not going to work out. Now, pressing the transfers, that's a different story. But getting the adhesive to the ink, it's not going to work because I've been having pressure issues. I've been having sometimes it'll press good on one side, but it'll mess up. You've seen that video, right? The one where I did the shirt for you.
Yeah.
You see all of them where how they're all
Exactly.
messed up. That's exactly what was happening. But with my swing away, one I have over here, I have no problems with that, man. Like it, yes, I had to like adjust it, but once I figured it out, it was, like, it was easy. It's just the problem with it though. It's a 12x15, so it's a little bit harder to do the shirts and getting it good, making sure the shirt doesn't get messed up. But once I figured it out, I'm like, whatever. I would rather go the extra mile to make sure it's perfect for my customers and to make sure I'm getting good product out there. Because if you take a little time in the beginning, the reward will be bigger, and then you can buy stuff that'll make it easier for you. You just got to start somewhere, and a lot of people don't see that. That's what I realized. A lot of people don't see that.
Exactly. And it's just taking that first step, starting anywhere, even if you just have something, just even if it's just one thing, because you have a vision of everything you want to do, but then you have to just start with something. Just get that one thing, one paycheck, get a heat press, even if you can't. And there's other ways. Like I seen online also, there's ways to pay without paying up front, like paying in 4 installments. I seen some sites doing
That's what I did.
like
That's what I did. That's what I did in the beginning because I wasn't making that much, man. And that's exactly what I did. That's how I was able to get everything in 4 months. But I made sure that's why I went broke fast. Like when I get paid, because I don't want to be in debt. I don't want to like owe thousands of dollars. If I didn't do this, man, I'll be owing thousands. I'll be in debt thousands and thousands of dollars. So I'm smart with my money. When I get a credit card, I like to pay it off as soon as I could. And same thing with this. I paid them off within 4 months. I paid over probably $3,000 worth of equipment that I got loans on.
Yeah, and that's how you got to do it, because a lot of things that's hard for people is having the money up front. But there's ways to do it. Credit is very important. So even if you don't have good credit right now, just try and build it somehow. Get a secured credit card, start on Fingerhut, anything that allow you to build credit and do anything like that. A Chime credit builder card, that's another thing. It's a debit card where you could just add money onto it, but that'll help your business, because if your credit is good, you don't have to get the cash up front to pay for this equipment.
Yeah.
And that's like important, because if you notice the way the world works, nobody uses their own money. They borrow money. So their own money goes into an investment, and then they borrow money to survive. And then their own money is paying back the money that they borrowed, and then it's so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So
because
you don't get taxed on borrowing money.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how it is, man. That's why a lot of people ask for investors, where they could invest that money to themselves. But I think a lot of times they use it for like donations, deductible, and stuff like that. There's a lot of ways to get past it. You know what I mean? To like, if let's say you pay for something, you gotta pay taxes. But if you donate it, like you know what I mean? Like a lot of people, they do a lot of donations so they don't have to, so they can get some of it back when they file their taxes. But once we get there, man, that's when I have to start, because I have an accountant that did my LLC. That once I start getting a lot of money in, that's when I'll go to him, and that's when he's gonna start doing all my stuff. That's when he's gonna start doing my paperwork, and then that's when he'll give me the advice of what I should start doing with my money once I get to that stage.
So now let's touch up on that, because a lot of people don't even know how to start an LLC. So how did you go about starting it? Like, because everybody knows they want to have a name, but Cosmos Graphics, in order for you to solidify that as yours, you had to claim it. So how did you go about that process?
Okay, so I claimed in the state of Michigan, but there's a Cosmographics in the state of Texas. Same spelling, same thing. You know what I mean? But Cosmographics in the state of Michigan belongs to me now. No one could own Cosmographics in the state of Michigan because I have the LLC. Basically, depending on your state too. That's what I realized. In Michigan, go to the accountant; they'll do it for you. Some of them they'll charge you like an arm and a leg, like $400 or $500. The guy that I went to charged me $200 to open up my LLC. Additional $50 to get it right away, and that's what I did. And I got it within a couple of minutes of me opening it up. If I didn't pay the extra $50, it would have been like a week or two. But I was able to get it right away because I paid the extra $50. Then once you get your LLC, that's when you have like you get like a business ID. There's certain websites you can go to that require a business. You can open up for Amazon Business. I have Amazon Business. You need a business like an LLC or corporation. I wouldn't recommend getting corporation right away unless if you're making like Best Buy is a corporation. They make millions and millions and millions a month. If you once there's pros and cons to LLC and corporation, but for you to trademark Cosmographics, for example, if let's say I want to own Cosmographics, like like how Best Buy owns Best Buy, that's when you have to contact lawyers, and that's when you got to be paying a lot of money. But like I said, if let's say you want a business name, and let's say, for example, again, Texas, there's a Cosmographics. Oh, and I think somewhere in the UK, there's a Cosmographics as well. So you can have multiple, but you want to try to claim it for your state. And my advice, see, it took me, I want to say, almost 5 months when I started my business till I got my business name. If you are going to start this and you know 100% that you want to start your business, and let's say you have a name in mind and you really want that name, I recommend you go get it right away because it might be taken after. Because I had a few before I went to my accountant, I had like a few just in case Cosmographics was taken. I had Cosmos Prints, and I had I think 2 or 3 different ones. But the first one I won was Cosmos Graphics, and it was available in the state of Michigan. It's like, let me have it, and then,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
definitely.
So for you, do you have an LLC?
I'm about to. That's what I'm in the process right now.
What's your name going to be, if you don't mind? Is it the Lost Entrepreneur, or is it something else?
That's what I was thinking of, because I'm thinking if I keep this name, because I have to. I don't know if I need to get it for YouTube if I'm going to use the Lost Entrepreneur, since that is my name on here. So in order to have it as my own name and for me personally to be the Lost Entrepreneur, I think I have to claim it. So I'm thinking about just going under here as a Lost Entrepreneur, but I don't know. I don't have like much people I talk to around here about this stuff, and I kind of just like have you guys online and the people who follow me on YouTube, and it's like, who do I talk to about this stuff? But
I mean, it's cool, but if that's what you kind of want to brand, I would get it, and then maybe have like a separate name, for your business if you want, because Lost Entrepreneur, like what you want to do T-shirts, right? By people seeing your name, the Lost Entrepreneur, I mean, I guess you kept it open also for different type of product, just like your YouTube channel. So it could be for basically hustling. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But but if you start your business, are you going to do just shirts and hats, or do you want to just expand it to like, I don't know, like soap making or candles or, whatever that you can think about that you want to get into?
Yeah, I have a plan. I think because my main thing is to try and get into real estate. Once I start getting money in, I'm going to get into real estate. And one thing I'm definitely looking to happen whenever it happens, because I've been talking to my wife about this for a while, but whenever it's able to in Florida and they legalize medical marijuana, I want to have my own dispensary. Like,
that's pretty cool, man. Yeah,
that's like my one goal. Like, for sure, I definitely want to make my own strain. I want to do all that stuff, and it's possible. I know it is because I see other people around the world doing it. Wiz Khalifa has his own strain. I just seen pop up on my phone today.
Steve Urkel,
Yeah, Steve Urkel, like a
has his
lot of
own.
them.
Yeah,
Snoop Dogg has his
oh,
own.
of course Snoop Dogg. I mean,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Of course Snoop Dogg.
but yeah, that's the future goal.
I mean, yeah, I mean, in Michigan, it's like I said, it's 100% legalized, so I can take the advantage of making shirts like this. Now, personally, I don't smoke.
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of thought about it for my anxiety, but I know a lot of people that do, and I know a lot of people would appreciate like a shirt like this. You know what I mean? So that kind of opened up product like this that I could just sell in my own home state. And I know a lot of people be interested in that, because as soon as they legalized it here, man, people from different states just start flocking to Michigan around the state just you know, to get some weed, basically.
and it is an attraction. I mean, people.
Yeah.
It helps them feel better. It definitely helps because, like, I suffer from anxiety, and when I do start my business, that's one thing I'm gonna like be very like upfront about is I'm a patient medical marijuana business owner.
I see on your
Yeah,
YouTube as well, like in the description, all the way in the bottom,
yeah,
you talk about it
exactly.
a little bit. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
because
cool, man.
I
Yeah,
want them to know, like, listen, I do this, and a lot of people get the stereotype of smokers are lazy, smokers just sit back and eat, and that's not true. A lot of people use it, especially UFC fighters use it for rehab, and it has a lot of medical use. And if they take that time to learn it, and then definitely do it, it'll help your anxiety because there's ways you can take take the marijuana without having the THC part of it.
now I'm not gonna lie. I took like CBD oil before that had a was it THC?
Yeah,
Um, it was good. To me, it has the opposite effect. I feel because at first it was working really good. Then like a week later, man, like my panic just went up the roof. So I think it
yeah,
has like the opposite. Because I know a few people that smoke it that works good, but some people they can't smoke it because it increases their anxiety. So
exactly.
I feel like it's probably gonna do the complete opposite. I mean, man, I don't know. I mean, at first it was feeling good. I was like, wow, and I wasn't lazy. I was actually doing a
Yeah.
lot more. But then once I started getting that panic, I was like, yeah, I gotta stop this, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the person, but
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't look,
yeah,
like I said, I don't look down on people that do that. It's better than half of the medicines that
exactly.
they rather have us take. And like I said, man, I've been getting some 420 friendly designs. So because that's also what I want to launch as well as 420 friendly designs as well. And that's what I want to do. Especially again, Michigan has it legalized now, so it'll be easy for me to sell this stuff.
Yeah. And one thing I have down here that's about to happen is Bike Week. It's when all the bikers come down to Florida and they just ride around, and it's
That's
like
cool, man.
I think it's called like Biketoberfest, something like that. But a
Okay.
lot of people make a lot of money doing T-shirts down here on it, and even WalMarts. When you go to WalMarts, you can see the season change because their shirts go from NASCAR racing, then right after that, it's uh, the Biketoberfest and all that stuff. So honestly, my advice to people doing T-shirt business: go look at your major retailers and then look at their designs and see what's changing. Because as the seasons change, like the designs of stuff change and people buy different
Yeah.
wear. So you have to kind of interchange with that. Unless you're like where I'm at in Florida, I kind of have the benefits of it being basically hot all year. So I kind of don't have to follow that fully. But if you have different seasons throughout the year, you can't
Trust
sell
me.
a summer shirt during the winter.
Yeah, in Michigan, man, like it's sometimes in one day it'll be like raining, it'll be hot, humid,
Mhm.
cold, raining again, hot. Right now it's kind of chilly a little bit, which I prefer that weather anyways. But yeah, in Michigan it's always changing, so it's getting close to where I'm probably gonna start also doing sweaters and hoodies, and beanie hats as well. So I'm able because right now it's getting to that weather now, that season to where people are going to start buying that here in Michigan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And definitely, once you try and press hoodies and shirts, they're definitely different because the pressure is definitely hoodies are a lot thicker. So you got to adjust your pressure and basically relearn the whole pressing process for your hoodie.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I had again, when I got this, I had to adjust everything. when I got the Teflon pillows, man, you to use the Teflon pillow, your pressure got to be so loose to able to press on those things, because if you're not careful, man, you can mess up your heat press, man, because it'll put
Now,
so much pressure on your heat press.
now my heat press comes with a little mat already. Is it thicker than this right here?
Well, my mat on my 50 by 15, you can't. I don't think you can move it. No, you could. You could. It's not. With my swing away, it comes with two. With my 15 by 15 clamshell, it has one, and my swing away has two. Yeah.
Yeah. You got a
Right
lot of
there.
heat presses over there.
Yeah, I got like I got my swing away 12 by 15 StarCraft, and I got StarCraft 15 by 15. Got my easy press, got my mini press, and I think that's it. Oh, I got my Cricut hat press as well. Then I got a mug press, so I'm guessing 6 altogether. Yeah,
And you invested in yourself, and now look
yeah,
at you. You could basically do whatever you want. You just have to go do it.
yeah. That's the thing, man. If you're working a dead end 9 to 5, if you don't got a lot of money, but you got money to go buy a PlayStation, you got money to go buy those new Jordans, you got money to go out to eat all the time, just sacrifice all that and just invest in yourself. Eventually, once you start building all the stuff that you need, then you can start making money for yourself. Like I can make money right now. If let's say a company wants me to do shirts for them. Actually, I have a shirt that I gotta do for a customer, which I need to drop it off Monday. I don't have to wait for a paycheck to do that. I just making my own money in my own time basically, and it feels good. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to perfect my craft, but once you perfect it enough to where you're comfortable and it's going to be good product for you to sell it, you don't have to worry about getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. You could just get your money, every single day eventually. And I know people that work for themselves and they get paid every day because they put the work to get paid every day.
Exactly, and that's the benefits of starting your own business, is because you don't want to have to be physically present to make that money. You want to be able to freely enjoy the time you have with your family, your friends, whatever you're doing, or even opportunities to expand on other businesses. You don't want to have to put all your attention. You just want to basically have it on auto program, basically.
Yeah,
So
that's what I want to do. Eventually, okay. So I tell my wife, um, the t-shirt business, is it something that's going to be my career? And I tell her, and this is what I tell her. I tell her it's not my career, but it's something that I want to keep doing. What I mean is, I'm going to expand my business, like doing a lot of different things. Eventually, I want to get my own place. I'll hire employees, and I'll check back on it, you know, probably once a week, making sure everybody's doing good. So eventually, I'm going to stop doing this, but I'm still going to get money doing it. You know what I mean? And I want to start
exactly.
investing into other businesses. Um, Speaking about like the medical marijuana, about legalized marijuana, in Michigan, it's kind of hard because there's licenses. You have to apply for a license, and I believe Michigan, they're no longer giving out licenses anymore. So you gotta buy a license, and you could be looking at over $100,000 just to buy someone's license. I believe that's how it works, because I know with alcohol that's how it works. With marijuana, I believe so, but you still got to go with the state of Michigan and making sure that because they still got to do like a background check on you and things like that. But
Exactly.
eventually, that I was also thinking about that too. Is that maybe I want to open up my own place? Because that's where the money's at, man. That's where the money's at, and um, I don't want to stop there. Maybe I want to open up my own bakery. Maybe I want to open up my own restaurant. Maybe I want my own. I don't know. Like it's just see. I gotta start. See, I gotta make this work so I can make everything else work. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I told my wife too. I was like, this is basically what I'm starting off as, not what I'm going to be in the future, but this is what's going to help me get to it. This is what's going to fund everything else, because my t-shirt business and me learning this, and just like my past job of working, I was working at Walmart. That let me learn the back end of the business, basically the warehouse, the transferring materials from one side of the warehouse to the other, keeping track of the things, like everything. I know how to do all that now. Organization skills. I can basically get a software and know how to keep track of all my product. So once I do make that next step and I'm not in my house anymore, I'm actually moved into a building, I know how to keep inventory. So that way I don't lose money. I don't lose track of product, and everybody's orders are still going out. And yeah, but definitely also when I start my own marijuana business, I'm going to sell t-shirts inside of there as well. So that's going to be another thing, because I'm going to be self-advertising in my own brand. Once I open my own store, get my own shirts, I don't have to go to somebody else to buy a shirt. I'm going to go to my own company to buy my own shirt, and then go on so forth like that.
Yeah, that, I mean, like I said, and it's just like you just have to make that first step. I was broke starting this business for I don't know how long, and I look back at those days. There were times, man, where like I'm like, I just want some money. I want to go out to eat, man. I'm just tired of eating ramen or tuna fish. But I'm like, but then, I'm gonna go broke, and then I'm gonna be eating the same thing anyways. Why have why be comfortable for a day and then suffer for months? You know what I mean? I rather suffer for a couple of months and enjoy the rest of my life. And I'm seeing that. You know what I mean? Like with my investment, I see where my investment has taken me into possibilities. Basically, it feels good, man. Just sit here and be like, man, I can just make shirts for customer. I can make shirts and make money doing it because I took the time to invest and I took the time to learn. And
Exactly.
that feels amazing, man. And also another thing, um, so I went to Best Buy a couple days ago, had a gift card, and I invested into what's it called, Square Reader right here. So this one, they can tap it or insert it, and also comes with the adapter where they can swipe it. Then I also picked up the dock right over here. So I don't want to hear no excuses when I'm making, oh, I don't got money. Well, I accept credit card. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but because if they don't want to use this, and they're not legit. But how about if they are legit and they don't have cash? Well, I don't want to lose a sale, so I need to. So definitely, this is something that I want to invest into. Are you planning on investing into something like this as well?
I'm definitely going to get a reader like that, because I want to be able to set the cash, and I want to be able to set debit cards and credit cards,
Yeah.
because it's definitely the way the stuff's going. And also a lot of people, at least not now, but I know it's going to happen in the future, but a lot of people are going to be into crypto.
Yeah, I actually got some crypto shirts as well. I've been looking at the trend, so I got a lot of crypto t-shirts that I can start pressing and ready to go. You know what I mean? Like that website that I told you about. So I'm definitely investing into like a lot of crypto things. Um, a lot of people, they say, oh, crypto's going to go away. Crypto's this and that. I mean, I don't think it's going to go away. And it's definitely something that I want to invest, but not right now. I rather invest into my t-shirt business still. I still need a little things that I need to fully launch, because eventually I'm going to launch on Shopify. I want my own website. But right now, Etsy, it's going to be the best platform for me right now, just to get my brand out there and just to generate some income from my business to where I can start investing into the better heat press, because I need a better heat press for the transfers like that. And it would help me fund my own website and then eventually hopefully get my own place, my own building.
Exactly. That's where Etsy is, because you can start out on Etsy even before you have your LLC, just to get started and do a home crafting. Because in certain states, you have to check your own state. But as in Florida, if you start anything and as soon as you hit $400, that's basically when you have to start reporting it to the state and start saying you are doing actual business. But if you're just like testing it out, like right now, even though I have my stuff going on, the funds that coming in aren't coming in as high as that is. So if I do start at Etsy and it comes in, you never know. If it does go higher than that, then I did something right. But if I reach under there, then I'm able to start without it.
Yeah, Facebook, if you want to sell online, I have to put my tax information to ship online. Now, I could sell online locally, but to do shipping, yeah. I remember when I used to do buying and reselling, I still kind of do with eBay, but man, when I remember when you have to start collecting taxes on eBay because people would be making millions of dollars and didn't have to report it. But then the IRS was like, wait a minute, what's going on over here? So that's why they start taxing. PayPal, once you reach a certain amount, they automatically send you the tax paper that you have to fill out. Now, we're not legal experts. I would recommend you talking to a lawyer. But I've heard in Michigan, again, don't take my word because I still got to do my research. I've heard that when you're starting off, you don't have to report anything for the first year when you're starting off, just to see if you're making money or not. Then after that, once you are making money, then you have to report it. But again, I'm not an expert. We're not experts. Contact your state. My advice: contact the lawyer, and just to make sure you're doing everything by the books, because you don't want the IRS coming after you, man.
Yeah, always contact a lawyer. Always get the right information. We're not experts. We're just like you guys, looking for information and trying to spread it around. Yeah. And my wife's trying to start her own bakery. So
that's cool, man.
I'm actually like excited because I told her that if she does start her own bakery, excuse me, guys.
You're good, bro.
I want to like design her thing, like, or send it out for somebody to be designed, and then I could advertise her on YouTube on my t-shirt things and basically things like that. But starting off on a bakery, if you don't have to have a license to start off a bakery in Florida, like a food license, you just basically have to make a certain amount of money, and then you're required to have a license. But if I believe it's like $100,000. If you make less than $100,000, you're not required to have that license to sell from home. And I found that like to be kind of crazy because I thought she needed a license for stuff like that. But there's a certain law that they have that allows for her to sell certain food without licensing.
Yeah. Now you guys have OSHA, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Michigan, we have MyOSHA. So not only that we got OSHA, Michigan wanted their own OSHA, which is called MyOSHA. She would not be able to do that here in Michigan. Different rules and regulations and everything like that. So there's a lot more strict in Michigan when it comes to the businesses, especially in constructions and things like that. Because I wanted to get my construction license, which I may still be able. I may still want to go get it. But right now, with things going on, I don't feel like I need it right now. But eventually, I might want to open up my own construction company. That's what I was originally, before I started my t-shirt. That's what I wanted to do, was have more construction license. But man, you can lose a lot of money more than this. You know what I mean? And when it comes to like you messing up, it's different than me messing up a shirt and a customer be like, "Hey, this is starting to crackle." Oh, okay, I'll fix it for you. The fines with these construction sites, man, you'd be looking at tons of thousands of dollars for each thing you do wrong. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Yeah. That's why I kind of steered away with it a little bit right now. But I don't know. It might be something in the books. But let's still talk t-shirts right now. So what's your ideal setup? Like, what do you want to do? Like, what kind of equipment that you see yourself getting in the future for your business, like a DTF machine, or DTF and DTG? Because me personally, I already have a DTG, direct to garment. But how about you? What are you planning on getting?
My goal equipment is just to have at least like 3 different heat presses, 1 swing away, 1 clamshell, and maybe like a smaller one just to have for like smaller designs if I'm not doing too big or something, just because I want to be able to press more than 1 shirt at a time if I do need to too.
Yeah.
And definitely my little hand press. That's one thing I definitely love right now.
I love mine too. Yeah.
DTG printer. That's one thing I definitely want, because I just want something that I could have at home that I could just print. But depending on where we're going with this, since I am starting off with transfers, if I do reach to a certain limit, I may just go from the step of home to like a shop.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like if let's say you have your own shop.
yeah, because I'm starting off just buying transfers as it is now.
Okay.
So as it looks now, if I invest in something from home, then I have to see how much customer traffic I'm actually coming in.
Yeah.
Because if it's more than what it is, there's no point in me buying
That's what I'm saying.
something from home.
Like once you start, let's say you're making 1,000 shirts a day.
Yeah, then if my business comes in, then I'm definitely going to get a small little shop because around here you could rent something not even that much, and I can also not even go to a shop, but we got flea markets.
Same here. But we don't,
And
yeah, but for you, it's all year. For me, I
yeah,
think the flea market just
that's what
closed
I was
down.
about to get
Yeah.
to. My flea market literally is all year long.
That's,
So I
must
have
be
two
nice.
different ones. I'm not going to give out my exact locations, but one's down in another county, maybe 20 minutes. And then the other one's not even 10 minutes away, which is where I live at right now.
That's
And
pretty cool, man. Yeah.
and the one is smaller, that's 20 minutes away, but the bigger one is over there. But I'll probably start off on the smaller one, to be honest, just because when I mean by smaller, I don't mean they don't get a lot of traction. Like there's a lot of people there.
But
It's
just
just
smaller
it's
location.
smaller location. And I feel like having that smaller location that allow more people to see me instead of
Less
being in a bigger spot where there's more chance of them to shop somewhere else.
less competition, man.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking about. So
Less
if I could get me a
competition.
table, maybe I don't know what they do. I'm gonna look into it. $50 a day, but if I whatever it is, I don't know. If I can make that investment and possibly come back and make some money or lose some money, then I'm gonna let you guys know when I make it.
Yeah, I
But
can't wait for that, man. Yeah.
it's
Unfortunately,
definitely
Michigan,
something.
man. Yeah. Fortunately, Michigan, man. I think our flea market's just closed. Now we do have one that's an indoor. That's all year long,
Mhm.
but man, it's expensive. They want like $300 a month or something like that. Which
Yeah.
I mean, for depending on the location, depending on the booth. I mean, I guess it's not that bad when you're making a lot of money, but when you're starting off,
When
do
you're
I really
starting
want?
off, that's
Do
an
I really
extra
want to pay
month.
$300? And then
Yeah.
you got to pay for your own. See, you're just buying the spot. You're just renting the spot. You don't have no tables or nothing. You got to bring that stuff in. So you'll be looking at about probably like $1,000 just to bring everything in. You know, do I really want to do that? And I'm not going to make no money. I don't see myself doing that. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
you should, like I said, it's just I don't see much because I don't see like the traffic really seeing it's worth it in that particular location. Now, if it was a little bit cheaper, that's a different story. The mall that's next to my house, they do have like small kiosks, which I thought about doing, but then again, there's not that much traffic that goes into mall, and now I'm have competition with like Hot Topic and Spencer's. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't see it. So I thought about it, but at the same time, like I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I might do the mall thing if it's not that expensive. I'll try it for a month, but I don't know. Eventually, I just want to get a DTG printer. Those things are sweet, man. I've been looking at them, and man, they're
Yeah, they're
nice, man.
definitely nice.
They're nice.
And uh I might upgrade my cutter, my vinyl cutter. I don't know. It still works for now, but
Yeah, I want.
sister came out with a new one,
Yeah.
and it's very technology advanced. Uh, doesn't have Bluetooth yet, but in the future they said it's gonna have Bluetooth.
Oh, so you can't. So you have to connect it to your computer.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah. Same thing with this printer, but this printer because it has a lot. It depends. I'm guessing because if it. So with this printer, when I first tried hooking it up, I was like, why am I not able to hook it up? So I got the internet cable connected to the internet cable from here to my computer. And then when I told my buddy, I was like, how do you connect this thing to Bluetooth? He's like, you can't connect to Bluetooth because equipment like this that are having to like programming or something like that. I forgot exactly what he said. They cannot be connected by Wi-Fi. They has to be connected like that.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming and I'm thinking if that's the same thing with that vinyl cutter. If that's the case, that means that vinyl cutter is probably the best on the market. If that's the case,
yeah. When I seen it, it's literally 4 times faster than a leading uh,
that looks.
cutter right now, and it's quiet. Like because I follow T-shirt side hustle,
Yeah,
side
it's
shout
sold
out
out. So,
Stan.
yeah,
Uh, definitely love what you're doing over there. He's definitely somebody I look up to in this t-shirt community because not only does he have his own t-shirt business, but he's helping other entrepreneurs start their t-shirt business and giving them insight. So shout out T-shirt side hustles. And I don't know if you follow them, but another good group is Squad Creatives.
Never heard of them. No.
Yeah, see, I got to start saying it again in my videos because when I first started off, I found them. So we're going to start doing that again, guys.
Okay.
Shouting out to Squad Creatives in my videos in the beginning, and I'm going to do it in throughout. But this Facebook group has about 2,000 followers, and it's led by Mike Tees and 12 Gone Apparel. And they both have YouTube channels. They both have their own businesses started, and they basically do podcasts and insights with major people who are in this t-shirt business.
That's
so they
pretty cool, man.
They just did an interview with Stan from T-Shirt Side Hustle, and they did a couple with him before, but they also did one with this marketing agent who is a leading marketing agent right now in New York. So just hearing everything she had to say about the fitness from her side of the point, because she's high-end fashion.
Okay.
So just hearing what she was saying, there was a ton of information in there. So if you guys want any information, you can find them on Facebook, Squad Creatives, and on
Yeah, we'll
YouTube,
definitely check them out.
Squad Creatives. And they definitely got a ton of information. Definitely taught me a lot. And you can post your work on there, show them what you're doing, show them the printers. They don't like people trying to sell stuff directly, but you can show what you're working on. They don't mind that, of course. And it's just a ton of people just kicking it back over there.
Yeah, man, I'll definitely check them out, man. You just send me the link on, or you want to put it here, or you can also send it to me on Instagram. I'll definitely check them out, man. Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. I might be able to find the link and drop it in this.
Yeah, but speaking of vinyl cutters, so I bought from US Cutter. I forgot what inch. It's one of those really big vinyl cutters. You know what I mean? That I can do car signs. For some reason, I couldn't get it to work on my computer, so I had to take it back. And that's definitely something that I want to do, because I was looking at the one that you were looking at, but I kind of want to invest into a bigger one. So that's what I've been looking at. And to be honest, if I have the money, I'll probably get like a Roland one. The one I'm looking at, I believe, is like $5,000 or something, and you can actually do T-shirts with that one too, which is pretty cool. So I've been kind of looking at the bigger vinyl cutters. I like my Maker 3. I got nothing against it. I feel like it could be better. The Maker 3, I feel like it could, but I think the price. I think they have price drop right now. I think it's like $380. I think it was $400 at first. They went up to $430. And I believe now it's a price drop for $380, which is a pretty good deal. Then you can get the first Maker. I believe that one's on sale for like $220 right now. Yeah, I'll definitely check them out.
Yeah, that's the link right there. If anybody can see that. And
so, are you planning? Are you ever planning getting a bigger vinyl cutter too, or you just want to stick with the smaller, compact ones?
For now, I'm gonna stick with the smaller one because I'm not looking to do like decals for businesses and
that's what I
all
want
that yet. And I might eventually, but I kind of just want to stick to apparel and something like simple right now. And then later on in the future, if I'm able to expand, then of course I'll expand and provide more stuff.
Yeah, for sure, man. Did you ever try like heat transfer paper?
Heat transfer paper.
Because I thought I saw that on one of your videos where the pendant gear.
Yeah.
Where you do an inject. It's kind of like this, but you use it with.
I don't even. When I bought it, I thought it was sublimation paper.
Okay.
So I used it for trying to use it for sublimation paper, and it didn't work. So I still don't even know like what that's technically used for, because I didn't like I didn't figure it out. I was like, all right, this isn't the product I was looking for. So I didn't even bother researching it. I just knew that was something else.
Yeah, basically just use it with your regular printer, and you need the Cricut to cut out. I would recommend it if you're just doing like a one piece, not multiple, and then you just peel it off, put it on the shirt, and press it. But it's really annoying, man. Like I tried that, and it's one of that's one of the most budget things that I guess you can start off with is getting heat transfer paper. You can find them cheaper on Amazon. Not to discourage anybody, but if you're just doing, let's say, like just one picture that's not even complex like this, but just like I think it's like wait 8.5 or something, the paper size.
Yeah,
And if you're just doing it like that, it would work fine. But if you're gonna start cutting, like you can't do it with this, for example, out, and you're gonna have every single letter separate. You're gonna have everything separate, so it won't work on something like that.
yeah. But I don't know. I didn't like that pen gear, and once I started using it, I was like, no, I'm not even gonna bother. It just seemed like even messing with it and peeling it off and
Yeah,
feeling it, I was like, I don't like it, so I'm not even gonna bother researching it. And yeah, I kind of just that's how I ended up finding the A sub paper, and there's a bunch of different other sublimation papers. I heard people using Crafty paper, and
I used a sub. That's the only one, and I
yeah,
wouldn't go
that's
back. Not
that's
for
what I use.
now. If
And
Cosmo Ink has sublimation paper, I'll probably try theirs out if they
yeah,
do
if he
have
does
one.
have sublimation paper, then I will buy his and try his because right now I'm using a different brand, so I'll do a review and see how it is on his. Because the difference between the paper, if nobody knows, is basically how much ink it holds and just how it transfers, how it's going to look once it transfers. Uh, I've only used 8 sub right now. This is just everything I'm saying from looking online. And once I do get other stuff, I'm going to try it out and then compare it, and then we're going to see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. So, where do you see yourself in a couple of months? Like, okay, let's say January 1st of next year. From now till then, what are you trying to accomplish with your t-shirt business?
My main goal right now, like I was telling my wife, because I've been debating, but I definitely want to officially have an LLC and officially basically be able to sell something under my LLC and basically have that said and done so I don't have to worry about it. So I have a name said and done. I know what I'm going to be, and then I can start branding it from there.
That's cool, man. Yeah. When your Etsy shop going to be launched? What do you think?
It's Etsy shop probably next year, a little bit after that. I want to make sure I got everything and I'm doing it right because I right now I got to make sure I have the funds and like you said, have all the product and stuff on
Yeah.
hand. And right now I'm short on vinyl, so I need to get more vinyl and everything in. So I just want to have material in, not because I need it and need it for it to get started. It's just because I want to be prepared just
Yeah.
in case something
That's
happens.
exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. So it's not that I have the customer. I'm not expecting the customer base. I just want to be prepared and have everything I need. So in case I do have a slight rush or something, I can produce the orders and everything to the point that I want because I am starting off as a new business. And when you start off as a new business, you want to have good customer service, good shipping experience, good handling experience. You don't want it to just be shoved in there with a bunch of other stuff. You want to make sure everything
Yeah,
is
that's what I
good.
was
So
investing. Yeah.
that's my process right now is I have all these bags down here. I seen you have one.
Yeah, I got two different sizes
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
And I got this down here. This is one size. But you basically just put a shirt in there. Put a shirt in there and you seal it up and do it like that. And Amazon bags, they sell online on Amazon. They're little heat bag or what are the pylon bags? I think they're called something like that.
Yeah.
You just put them in there, and if you that's one thing I have to invest in too, is a machine that seals the bags.
Yeah, my they're not that expensive. I have a buddy that he makes soap and he
Mhm.
uses that to seal his soap.
Yeah,
Which is pretty cool. So they're not that expensive too.
yeah, they're not that expensive, but that's something that when I'm shipping a shirt, I put it in the clear thing first, and then put it in the bag.
So
And
you
then
want to seal it with the bag that you just showed us, or
yeah,
the
the shirt's gonna be originally in this plastic, the clear
okay,
plastic.
and
So
then you're gonna
everything's inside there, business card,
yeah
sticker, whatever else they got in there, pressing instructions if I have anything else in there, whatever it is.
yeah
And then from there it's gonna go inside either a box or depending on how much shirts, if it's more than one box, then or more than one shirt, then it has to go in a box.
yeah
Or if it's just one shirt, it can go inside of
the poly bag, and you're gonna
poly
seal
bag,
that.
and then I can seal that.
That's
and do it
interesting.
like that.
I never thought about it like that. That's actually
Yeah,
kind of something
because
I want to look into too.
my good friend at Live Life, shout out him, got his stuff right over here. But
Yeah.
he's already started his business. He's already got it launched. He has his own website.
Yeah, I've
He
seen it too because of you. I've seen his
yeah,
website. I checked him out and everything. Pretty good
and
stuff. Yeah.
and he's doing good. This is everything he's done by himself. He's basically already started. I want to try and get him on the channel. I'm trying to talk to him and like have him talk like we're doing right now, so other people can get his insight and hear what he has to say. Because he's already been selling, he's already had some customers, and he's had a taste of the success. So I just want to hear what he has to say and stuff. And he definitely,
That's motivation, man, right
yeah,
there.
that is because seeing him do it and stuff like that, he's coming to me now asking like for stuff, even though he's already started.
Because
Yeah,
he sees the value in your work, he sees the value in your friendship, and
exactly.
he's not greedy. That
And
tells me right there he's not greedy at all,
that's
man.
connections right there. Is
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that's why I pushed the message of on that one video of self advertisement of going and actually seeing the person, because it's like imagine trying to do business with somebody you don't even know,
Exactly.
and you don't know if they're trustworthy. You don't even know if you like how they are. And sadly, these days, people judge you off your look, judge you off the way you talk, judge you off uh, your speech.
Yeah, exactly, man. Trust me, I've experienced that myself, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so just going up front, that's just kind of breaking the barrier, saying, "Hey, this is me. This is what you're going to be dealing with. This is the business man,
Yeah.
and if you
Like,
kind of like how I'm presenting myself and doing stuff now, we can move forward."
yeah. So like I made this shirt. This is like my business shirt right here. I'm planning on doing more just to show what I got. It's my business name right here. You know, like when you go like the Best Buy, you see the employees having the Best Buy shirt or Walmart, Target. So you want to be able to present your business. And when I did that, it was a lot easier than I thought. And I could just show them the shirt, like, hey, I did this shirt, and they were impressed. Like, wow, you did that. You know what I mean? So that was definitely something that I'm going to start doing a lot more. And I'm actually going to start going to, uh, the place where they sell like the weed and everything, and hopefully get business from there. And then if I can get at least just one place that does that, I think I'll be set. I think that because the traffics of those places,
It's crazy.
I know security guards that sometimes they would go there because they have security guards, and then he said sometimes the lines would be outside the door. You know what I mean? Because they can only allow X amount of people inside the place.
Exactly.
That's why. Yeah, and it's crazy. Ever since Michigan legalized it, man, it's just people made money doing this. People made a lot of money, and the accessories that goes with it. I mean, I never smoked, but I've seen it. It's like there's a thing that I guess that grinds it up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you talking about the little electric push grinder?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of
Yeah,
gas stations been selling those like crazy. I mean, when I go to a gas station, people would be asking for those. Sometimes they'll bring their butt in and they just start doing it there just to
yeah,
make sure it works. It's crazy, man. It's just opened up a lot of
and
opportunities. And then check
that
your state.
that's like crazy because like this legalizing that, if
Yeah,
we're talking about business and stuff, it opened up so many more businesses to be open, so many opportunities
yep,
for small businesses to come in and people to basically like create a product and like sell it now. So it it definitely opens up. Like businesses go hand in hand. Just because you're in the t-shirt business don't mean you can't help out somebody in the weed business or in the
restaurant
TV business,
business.
because
Yeah.
all this is linked together and everybody kind of works behind the doors, and whatever's happening has been planned.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, in my area, there's a lot of hookah shops. Hookah shops been opening up like all over Michigan, basically, and now hookah shops are selling like the trays, the
Mhm.
the roll trays, I guess. You know what I'm talking about, like where
Yeah,
you roll, uh, the
you could
ball.
sublimate those.
Yeah, that's what I told one of the companies
Mhm.
that the hookah place that I'm probably gonna do some shirts. I'm like, man, I can put your business logo on this. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, and what's it called? They're selling a lot of weed stuff accessories now because they
Yeah.
could. So I opened up a whole bunch of stuff. And then for someone like you doing t-shirts, and if let's say your state doesn't allow that, just check your state what makes it different from other states that you can make money. You know, for you, you live in
Exactly.
Florida, so you got that bike week, so you can make money from the bike week.
Yeah. I
You
got
just
Bike Week, NASCAR. I have
yeah.
Bike Week is separate than Biketoberfest. So there's two different bike things. And then they
Oh,
have
okay.
NASCAR. And I also have all these college football games and stuff, people coming down. I can do like little sayings on there, uh, like just word phrases, like nothing that's copyrighted, but just something that's just said at a football game or anything like that, or any image that looks similar to football or anything like that I could
Yeah,
buy that I get the licensing.
yeah,
I can do
exactly.
anything like that. And as long as it's within the theme of what's going on, then it's kind of like that. But you guys just have to find what's going on in your state, your city, wherever you're doing, and kind of differentiate yourself from the competition.
Yeah, exactly, man. And that's what I've been trying to do with in my state, because the thing is though, I want to get big in my state before I get big in everywhere else. And by me setting myself up to go slowly, get big in certain areas, get big in your state, and then try to expand. Because what I was trying to do when I started this business, I just want to expand right away. It got to the point, man, where it was just my mom even like, man, you got to slow down. She's like, you got to slow down because you're doing too much. She's like, it's like you can't just throw yourself out there. When my mom told me that, I learned to calm down. I learned to be like, okay, I just got to take it easy. And next thing I knew, I was just doing everything little by little, but I'm seeing bigger results. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So the only thing right now that I need to launch, I just need to get more paper, figure out the whole shirt things. Once I figure that out, man, I'm confident. I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? And one thing I want to talk to you about: do you have anybody? Okay, do you have anybody that ever doubted you in your life, that in your business when you started till now, that kind of put doubt, that kind of is negative, that has a negative influence?
That's funny because honestly, my wife has supported me this whole time, and uh, I guess anybody. There's this one saying that I learned because, like you said, there's people that doubted me, of course, people that still doubt me to right now.
Same
That
here.
they see my YouTube channel and they're like, "You're only at this," or they see me doing this and like, "You still haven't done this," and I'm like, "I'm working on it. Like, it's this process. I'm learning everything. I'm moving at my pace that I feel comfortable and that I'm learning to do. I don't want to overwhelm myself, like you said, and just throw myself out there." And as of now, right now, to this day, me and you speaking, just the other day, there was a couple people doubting me, saying stuff about my channel, saying about my t-shirt. And my advice to people who have that, the one saying I'm going to say that I stuck with me is you can't explain a big idea to a small mind.
Yeah.
And meaning that is the goals that I personally want to achieve. I want to uh, have a dispensary. I want to have all these rental properties. I want to have all of this. Me explaining that to somebody else, their first response is you don't have any money to do that. You don't
That's
you, like yeah, you're broke. Like what are you gonna do? You don't have like I
it.
guess I know.
If you don't, okay, so are they just random people online, or are they people that you know that you consider your friends?
No, this is actually people that are close to me. These are people
Okay.
that I would think would support me and then aren't supporting me.
Yeah.
But at first it got to me and I'm like, I'm trying to do something for myself and they're like doubting me or they're saying like even then since my mindset has changed, I stopped doing certain things. I stopped investing in certain things because I'm a big Magic the Gathering player. It's a card game you play, see players.
I actually got the. I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure where it's at. It's in a safe somewhere. The Black Lotus Alpha.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
But
I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to play it, man.
This wants me want to change the whole chat right now. And
Yeah,
talk
really.
about that,
Yeah.
but I definitely was invested into that like heavy. And I
Yeah.
used to go there and spend my time, spend my money onto it. And then again, that is an investment because like some of the cards do
Yeah.
end up being expensive, and I do still invest to it, just not as much. Like before, it was I'm playing it, so I need to
Funny
keep
thing
up
is,
to date with everything.
sorry to interrupt because I don't want to lose my chance. My buddy at my job, he's a big heavy game Magic Gathering. There's a set that came out there. They reprinted a lot of the older stuff, completely sold out, and now they're going for more than double the price.
That's the Double Masters, I believe it is.
That's what he was telling me. Yeah, he was saying, man, they sold out complete as soon as that set got released. Man, it just sold out. But yeah, Magic Gathering. Oh my, like, he was telling me they found. I forgot it was an older set from the '90s that they found like a pallet worth of booster boxes, and they're gonna put randomly into this other set. I'm not sure which one it is, but bro, that's crazy. But yeah, I used to buy like on eBay. I used to be big into Magic as well, and I would buy like those mystery packs that people would do, and that's how I got that card. And I got like some dual land cards, but I ended up selling them some like the nice ones back in the days. You know what I'm talking about? Like the original like, dual lands.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, man, like you see, that's another thing you can invest. Like Pokemon is huge. Once a set gets what's it called? Retired, that's when the prices starts going up and things like that. Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. But going back to what you were saying about the negative, so I have probably, let's say, like 10 like friends, but I got two best friends that I consider brothers. Two best friends that have my back, that are supportive, that would help you out when they could. You get what I'm saying? Not like help you out like with money, but help you out with like, motivate you. You get what I'm saying? There was a friend that I thought he was my best friend. He is negative in his life. Didn't do anything with his life. And when I try to talk to him about my business, he would act like he was just being negative. He was like, "Oh well, how do you know that you're gonna succeed? A lot of people fail.
Exactly.
And that's what he would be telling me, man. And I'll be like, well, sometimes you just gotta like invest in. He was talking about, well, no, you're gonna waste your money. You're wasting your money, and and then I'll tell him about the advertisement. Like, so there's a thing. You ever heard of Cameo?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's celebrities that. And that's another thing, another advice. That you pay him X amount of money. Akon used to do it. If you paid Akon $10,000, he'll shut out your business. You know what I mean? So there's sometimes you can find celebrities like that, depending on the price. Sometimes they're $10,000, sometimes they're a couple hundred. There's one celebrity, I'm not gonna say who right now. I believe he's $800. And for this celebrity, his net worth, the last I checked, was over 300 million.
Yeah.
$800 for him to shut your business out. So I was telling that to him. Oh, well, no one knows who he is anymore. Or how do you know he's going to get the people that you want? Just being negative, completely just destroying everything I'm saying, destroying it. And this is what I told him. I was like, he's a businessman. He's valued over 300 million. You tell me he doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to the business aspect? But you can never, because when you have someone that's so negative, it's like talking to the wall, right? Convincing the wall to change its color from white to, let's say, pink. Is that wall going to change? Or me telling my shirt, like, okay, I want you to be red right now. Just turn red. Is it going to turn red? No. That's how it is with these negative people. And that's when I realized I'm not telling him anything no more. I kind of took him out of my life because I don't need that negativity. I know the sad thing is, man, I known him for, was it like almost 20 years? I think 16 years I known him. Almost 17 years. And it used to be like three of us. We used to hang out and everything. We went with our lives, and I got married, my other friend got married, and he's still kind of stuck by still having that negative mindset. And he doesn't have any experience to say anything like that, but because he's negative, he looks at the like he's the type of person that would probably go like, for example, let's take this mouse, right? Let's say there'll be like 10,000 5-star reviews and 2 1-star. He would just look at the 1-star, be like, oh well, this person said that it did this and it's not working, and he wouldn't want it no more. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. He's
That's
going
how
off other people's vision.
he will look at other people negative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you start your small business, you're gonna run into people like that. People that think that you're I'm sorry. You can have people that think that they're your friends. You realize that they're not your friends. And I realize that this person is not someone that I don't want to associate myself with, because he's just too negative with everything, and you try to give him positive, you try to motivate him, and he'll come back and lash at you a little bit. You know what I mean? And I got to the point where I was like, you know what? It's not someone that I kind of want to deal with. And if he ever watches this video, sorry, man, you know who you are. And this is how I feel. It's just that I can't, like, you put so much restrictions on the friendship too, to where, get this, man, when we hang out, he'll be like, okay, we can't say this, we can't talk about this. And it's like, am I working? Or
yeah,
it's like, and then all of a sudden he wants to hang out once a week, and then wants to hang out once a month, which is fine. But negative people like that, man, you just gotta
basically just surround yourself with positive people.
And this is why I like talking to you. Yeah. And that's why I like talking to people that have my vision, that are positive. Because one of my other friends, it was 3 of us, the one I still hang out with, that I consider a brother, he bought me that heat press, the 9x12. He bought me it, went to Michael's, and he saw it. He's like, do you need something like that? Because I only had my Easy Press at the time. And he bought it for me because he saw my vision. And he will tell me all the time, it's like, if you need help, if you want me to invest, you need money, I'll help you out. Which, I'm trying to do this all on my own, but you see how having that friend that sees your vision, that wants to help you out, that motivates you versus having someone that's just always negative and attacking you. So I'm sorry I had to rant about that, but
no, you're good.
It's just like,
it's having the negative people.
It's not your friends, man.
Yeah, they're not your friends. And when you do start your business, and if you guys are watching this and you are going to decide to take that step, you're going to notice people are going to change. And then people are going to end up trying to change it around and say you're the one that's changed. But you have to keep in mind that you have a vision of what you're doing, know what you're sticking with, and know you're trying to better your life.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, I like watching like celebrities, like, for example, let's take Eminem, right? He had a lot of rejections, and imagine he gave up, he wouldn't be where we wouldn't know on Eminem. He wouldn't be where he's at. But he never stopped giving up. He kept grinding, kept hustling until that one person, Dr. Dre, saw his vision, and the rest was history.
Exactly. And it's just that one friend, that one person, that one investor that just takes a chance on you. Because like you said, you had that one friend that helped you out with the heat press and had you buy that. I had, at the time, I was low on funds and I was trying to get my YouTube started. And I'm figuring out everything I needed. And one thing I kept looking at, everybody was saying, is you need a decent laptop. Like, you can't run any t-shirt program on a cheap, like, $100 Chromebook. So I was like, dang, I need to find a laptop that works. So going and looking around, I was finding it. And I was like, the most decent one to actually run the program is so-and-so dollars. I was like, I don't have that right now. And I was trying to figure it out. And this one friend actually was like, listen, if you want it, I'll buy it for you. And then you just pay me back for it. And I was like, are you sure? Like, this is like your own money you're about to spend. And I told him, like, of course, I told him why I wanted it, what I was using it for, like what I was going to do. Like, I'm starting a YouTube. This is what I'm thinking of doing. I start my t-shirt, but I need a good computer to actually run the program and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was like, all right, cool. He's like,
the one you're using now?
Yeah, the one I'm using right now. I got a Tough Gaming Asus laptop. Retail, when it was over, it was like over $1,200.
Oh, okay.
And that's a lot of money. to like anybody. Just
Yeah.
to even like, I don't even want to spend it on myself unless it's like I would think twice before I even buy anything that much.
Listen, this thing you could buy from some companies $4,000.
I seen it. I looked it up after we got off the live, and I told my wife, I was like, "You see?" I was like, "You seen that printer behind him, right? This is what that is." I was like, "She's like, Jesus." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "This is an investment." I was like, "It now he's able to print fully from home." I was like, "It cost a little bit at first, but now he's fully independent, and it's kind of like, country, like a new city."
Yeah.
First thing you do when you create civilization in a new city, you want to become self-efficient. You want to be able to grow your own food, produce your own gas, produce anything like that. As a business, that's how I'm looking at it. As I want to be able to make my own shirt, produce my own transfer, and basically have it all in-house so the less expense.
Yeah, no, for sure. And see, right there, like you see how you have that one friend that just saw your vision, and then right there, that's just again
Yeah.
that
And I
one
got
friend.
another one.
I forgot who said. Was it? I forgot who said it. It was a quote. Someone famous said this. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies.
Exactly.
I think it was Al Capone. I think, or some. It was one of the mobsters. I think it was Al Capone, but um, and that makes sense. I rather just have my circle so small. I rather not have a lot of. You get what I'm saying? Because you
Exactly.
don't know who's gonna backstab you. You know what I mean? You don't know who's gonna be that negative who's talking bad about you. You know what I mean? Like I said, my friend, the one I'm talking about, the one that bought me that heat press, he's helped me out because I'm not gonna say what he does, but he's doing well for himself, and he knows that he knows I just got married. He knows that I'm trying my best to get out of this this part of my life to succeed. So he helps me out whenever he could, and he tells me all the time, "It's like, man, if you need something and I can get it for you, I'll get it for you." And he's helped me out, a few times, and he tells me all the time, "You don't have to pay me back. I just want you to be successful." That's what he tells me. I said, "I just need you to be successful," and he's helped me out, and I consider him a brother to this day. And
That's amazing.
just having a friend like that helps you out, and then forget all the negative. Because see, now that one other friend that's so negative, why bother with
Exactly.
negativity? We're adults here, right? We're in our 30s. He's older than me and my other friend, and he's talking and acting like that. And I try my best to like motivate him, to get him, to be open in the world. Be like, there's more than the world is just working. The world is out there, but
I
he's
want to
just
touch up on that because I have a couple friends. One, he keeps talking about starting a podcast.
okay.
And this is the one that I'm saying that's negative right now.
Okay.
And I'm not blaming him. I'm not talking bad on him. But dealing with your own negative problems, like when people are like that, they're negative for a reason. And they don't like something about their self. They don't like something about their own life or whatever's going on. So they try and project that negativity onto somebody else because they feel they're not good enough to do something. So they want to bring you down as well. And one thing that's hard is all these negative people, especially if you have a family member. I also have a family member that I thought was supportive, but then something ended up happening. And then I hear them saying all this negative stuff. And when I actually confronted it, there was nothing to be said. They said they didn't say anything, but that's not the point. It's just of why are people speaking negative on you when you're trying to bring out positivity?
Exactly.
Because if you look on my channel, you look on my Instagram, it's nothing but positivity.
Yeah, I've seen it. 100%.
If somebody is speaking negative on it, I believe personally they have something negative going on with their self that they're trying to push it onto me.
And it's jealousy too.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like, man. Because you know how much times I had people, and then the reason why I'm talking about this, if anyone is curious, because t-shirt business, not just buying the printer, the vinyl cutter, it's just about everything else that goes along with it. It's about surrounding yourself with positive people. I've had people tell me I'm wasting my money. Now, my buddy, I'm not gonna say how much. Let's just say I got a steal of a deal on this. I didn't pay nowhere near how much this thing is actually worth. But I've had people. I've told people how much I pay for it. You spend that much money on a printer, you're wasting your money. You know, why are you wasting your money like this? But there are the same people that will go buy a PlayStation 5, buy a new Jordan, and spend hundreds of dollars a month on food.
Exactly.
So what? Who's wasting money? I've had a lot of people like that. You get what I'm saying? Where they would spend it's okay to spend hundreds of dollars on fast food, not just food for the house that's gonna last you. No, we're just talking about them going out to eat or buying the new Jordans, buying a PlayStation 5. You know how many times I know people that bought PS5s, but then they'll come at me and tell me, well, you're wasting your money buying whatever I need for my business. Or they would be like, well, a lot of people are just doing it. Why are you doing it?
Yeah, I heard that a lot too. Because when I first started off, they're like, well, there's this person making t-shirts and this person doing this and this person doing that. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But literally, as I'm like right now, there's a ton of YouTubers out. And there's this one YouTuber I'm kind of watching right now because I kind of use my spare time when I'm falling asleep to watch comedians and stuff. But his name's D'Adrian Harden. And he's a comedian. He just goes around and he's pranking people. Like he does pranks at like a little like entertainment, you know. You're working hard all day. You want to have that little time where you're just laughing and chilling.
Yeah.
But he's literally only been out for a year and he's over 1 million plus subscribers.
That's crazy, man.
And that right there is one successful thing that I'm like looking at because he literally just started. He had success on TikTok, but he came on YouTube and a year later he's over 1 million plus. So basically, me and him have been on the same platform for the same amount of time, and his success is different than mine. I'm not comparing the two, but it shows that if you produce the right content, you produce what you want, and you keep working on it, you will eventually reach it. Because he even says on his channel that he can't believe that like is moving so quick. Like literally, one day he wakes up, he was at 100,000. And then he goes to sleep, and then he's at 300,000. Next day, 700. Like it's definitely something that you don't expect. And he definitely now is starting off as the YouTube thing, but he's now creating his own merch. Imagine if I would have known this guy or met this guy through YouTube or whatever, been his friend when he first started, when he was a nobody, when everybody was doubting him, saying, "What are you still?" You're 20 years old. Why are you still pranking people over there? This is the negativity that you need to take out of your life because everybody's not going to think that you can succeed. So you just got to keep going forward and push out that negativity, surround yourself by positive people, and then you'll be successful as long as you keep your head straight on and keep moving forward. And if you do get into a hiccup, that's what you got a team for. I always speak about having a team, having a foundation. And what I mean by team is not just having somebody work under your LLC. I mean, like if I needed advice from somebody and I needed to contact, who am I going to go to? That's what I mean by a team. Like you need to have that connection so that way your business can run the way it is and you can have proper advice from a good source.
Yeah, that's why I like to come on here and talk, to you because our struggles is, when you were talking about like the budget thing, not having the money, trust me, I know where you come from. I'm not just saying I understand. I know I lived it.
Exactly.
I lived that. I lived with the negative people. I lived through a lot of hardships in trying to better myself. And I've learned to manage money better starting this business. I've learned to invest where it needs to be invested. Yeah, sometimes I made some bad investments, but it's always going to happen. But you just got to learn from your mistakes when it comes to that. And sometimes like I'll just walk around my office, walk around everything, and just be like, "Wow, I can't believe I built this. I can't believe I've learned this. I can't believe wow, I can actually make money doing this. Like I did this. Like the money I work for my 9 to 5." Went into this business and it feels great, feels amazing. And when you were saying about everybody's success is different, so some people, like for example, someone could be a doctor, like a surgeon could be making a lot of money as a surgeon, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that I can't be successful like that as well in my own rights, you know, because people will just look at that like, oh, well, he's a doctor. Yeah, he saved. Well, actually, I probably don't want to compare a doctor to this because they do save lives. Let's talk about, I don't know, let's talk about real estate, right? He's making $1 million being a real estate agent, right?
Exactly.
But I can make millions of dollars doing shirts, but see, some people, they would ignore this business and be like, well, you should do this because this person doing it. But if you don't have the heart and soul to do that, you're gonna fail at it. Just like
Exactly.
baking. I don't like baking. My wife, she kind of wants to learn it, but I don't like baking. I don't like the measurements. I'm gonna be horrible at it. Even though I know a lot of people make money. My first cousin started off at her house baking. She had her website. She built her website and everything like that, and she has her own bakery now. But again, you know, you got to find what's going to work for you, and then that's how you're going to find your success. And seeing that, let's talk about the negative. They feel like they can dictate where your success is going to be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you're falling on hard times, they're not going to be there to pick you up because they're going to just blame you for your hard times.
And another thing is, if you do have these negative people in, just don't even give them information. Don't talk to them because
nope.
If they're not following you without having you to tell them to like follow you, then they're not interested in what you're doing. They're not supporting you. I have some people that I see and I consider them good friends, and they're like, hey, are you still doing that YouTube thing? And I'm like, yeah, of course I am. They're like, damn, it's been so and so long. I was like, I told you I was going to keep doing this. Like, you guys like looked at me crazy when I first started doing this, but I told you I was going to stick with it and I was going to keep going. And I kept going. I'm still going to keep going. The same thing with the t-shirt business, even though I'm not telling certain people about it or certain things aren't being said, don't mean behind the scenes things aren't getting done.
Yeah. And see, two positive people, man. Like, for example, I know you for like what, about a year now. You know, I just signed the YouTube thing. I feel more comfortable telling you about
exactly
the t-shirt business more than the other friend that I know for over 20 years, almost 20 years. And that's sad because when so it's like three of us, we start hanging out, and you know, life happens. We get older, we move on and stuff like that, and just always been negative, you know, and try to change that mindset. But I don't tell him nothing. I told him about my YouTube. He didn't want to subscribe. He didn't want, you know, he didn't want like the recommendation. He didn't want it to bother him or anything like that, or something like that. You know what I mean? When you want to upload video, this person does upload video.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him like,
yeah,
you know
that's crazy because you can turn it off if you really wanted to.
And well, I'm happy that he did it. I'm happy that he did it.
And you don't need, like, that's one thing, because somebody was telling me when I first started, they're like, why don't you just pay for subscribers? They're like, there's a way you can pay for subscribers. I'm like, yeah, there is. But why would I pay for subscribers? I was like, if I pay for them, then basically I'm fake. Like, I have all these subscribers, but literally nobody's watching my videos. I don't have true fans, like true people
like
who
people that understand.
Me.
They understand where you're coming from. You know what
I mean? Though when that one person was talking bad on my YouTube, saying it hasn't gone to where like they thought it would, because I guess they thought I would blow up or something like that. I don't know what they were expecting, but I wasn't expecting to blow up. My first year on YouTube, I told my wife my goal is to try and get 100 subscribers for my first year of YouTube. I did that. I was at like 180, 170 my first year. I exceeded my goal, so I was happy with it. And then that's when I believe when I reached around 100 something or close to that is when I met you.
Yeah, I mean, I met you actually. I don't know. I think I met you. So I started this business, and I met you before I even had Cosmos Graphics. I went under a different name, and I think I met you when you started YouTube. What, last March or February?
I believe March.
Yeah. So I think I met you probably like June or July of So you were on there for a couple of months, yeah. But my goal is to hit like 150 because my first video was November 16. So that's what I'm hoping for, at least 150. So I'm 26 subscribers away from 150 subscribers. So that's my goal. But YouTube, yeah, will it be nice to get a lot of subscribers? Will it be nice to get a lot of views? Yeah, but this is not like,
Yeah, it's not about that to me.
it's not
Like,
about that.
they
Man.
were thinking that like I want the subscribers. Like of course I would love to have the subscribers
Yeah.
and all that stuff, but I only want them if they want to listen to what I have to say.
That's what I have
Like
to
if
say.
you're actually
Supportive.
here for what I'm saying, the information that I'm giving for my personality. That's another reason why I started the YouTube. I didn't want to get into something that I didn't want to be happy doing, because I see a lot of people continuing making videos on stuff they're not happy about. So I was like, after I'm done this process, I still want to continue making videos and I want to be able to do it. So I want to be happy, and I love making videos and talking to people.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's not about the subscribers. It's not about any of that. Because I don't even, at first, because she had that in my head, I was paying attention to it, trying to create like content or something or think about it. But then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be myself, make videos I want to make, do stuff I'm thinking about doing, and see where it goes from there. And then that's when it honestly started changing, of when I started getting these followings. I met squad creatives at like 30 subscribers, if even that. They all subscribed to my channel. Whoever was in that group at the time, they were like, listen, we're going to subscribe to this group and just keep going, and we're going to help you get to where you got to go. Even to this day, I still talk to Mike Tees and 12 on Apparel, and I still in the Facebook group and talking to them. I need to start pushing it out more, just like I said earlier in the video. And I'm going to again. But it's people like that, when you first start off, that motivate you. And I met you. And when you were telling me when you first started, I think you were doubting if you should even start a YouTube or anything like that. And I was like, just go ahead and do it, bro. Just do it and move on and see what you got to do, because people want to hear what you have to say. Even myself, I want to hear your insight. I want to hear what you had on the business side. And it's just everybody has different experiences. And instead of learning it in a college, me personally, I love YouTube and I love learning, like watching it or doing.
Yeah, same here.
On. I can't read a book. I can, but it's going to be harder for me to stick into my mind, because if I read something and then walk away, I'm going to forget it.
Yeah.
So
no, yeah. And the thing is, though, I wish I started YouTube when I first started my business, because when I started my YouTube, it was exactly half a year. So that first video was shot on that same day. Exactly 6 months since I made my first purchase and everything to start this journey, because I wish I can look back at when I first started this business, and looking back at the progress. That's motivation.
Exactly.
Looking back, at least I can look back, 10 months ago, looking back at my older videos, looking back at like when I was showing like my tour, you know what I mean, of my business, and seeing like how things are different. Things are, I changed certain things. I got new things. I got rid of things, and just seeing my progression. Do you sometimes look at your old videos and be like, wow, I came a long way, and that's motivation for you?
Yeah, my very first video I actually created on this channel wasn't for even YouTube, wasn't for anybody else. Because when I rewatch that video, it was talking to myself in the future for when I start doubting myself. When I start thinking of if I'm actually going to be able to do this, if it's really worth it. My first video was, listen, like I knew in the future I was going to have hard times. So my first video was just talking to me like, listen, this is my first YouTube video ever doing it. Never did it. I'm a shy guy, but you're going to do this. You're going to stick with it, and you're going to keep going, and you're just going to keep moving no matter what. 1 subscriber, no subscriber, 1 view, 1 million views. You're going to make another video that next week, because that was the hardest thing for me, was being consistent.
Yeah.
Like nobody was watching me. So it's like, how am I going to do this every single week when I feel like nobody's watching me? And that's the thing that you have to get around, is you don't have to worry about who's watching you.
You gotta have to
kind of create it, because then the views will come. once you start creating it and not worry about the views and just create content and get better at it, better at your craft, because I consider this a craft too. Even this, right, like what we're doing right now, talking, stuff like that. I'm getting better each time that I do a live. I'm getting better each time I do a video.
Yes.
My very first video was hard. Now I can create a video way more easily without having to restart or even mumble or even say anything. I kind of have a thought of the video I'm doing, and it's easier to express what I have to say.
I've seen it too, man. I've seen it, but when you look back at, like, for example, using your heat press for the first time and now, because I've seen that video.
I definitely have videos, and that's one reason I started. Like when I very first did it, I was like, I want to start from the beginning. So if anybody sees my business and see where I'm going to come from, I can tell them. They can be like, hey, what do you know? I'm like, just go to my first YouTube video. I was like, you can see I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I want to do, is just document it from the very beginning of not knowing. Literally, when I first started this business, I didn't know anything. All I knew was I liked fashion. I liked wearing clothes. I liked having nice clothes, but I never wanted to pay for the nice clothes.
Yeah.
Like I hate it. I love Jordan, one of my favorite shoes. I love Nike, but why the hell is it so expensive? Like, why are you like, I can go to Walmart and buy shoes, and it's not the same quality, of course, but it's going to go on my feet. And when I walk, my foot isn't going to touch the ground. Yeah. So it's kind of doing the same thing. And I know they have like a bunch of different stuff and better quality materials, but that's one thing I look at is how is somebody able to sell a shoe the same as Nike and still get customers? Like, so I'm able to sell my shirt, which is going to be the same high quality as them, same material, same everything, but it's not going to be as expensive. It's not going to be $100 shirt, but that's one thing. Yeah. I wanted to create my own brand and just wear my own thing and just do my own thing. But all these YouTube, starting from the beginning to now, I wanted to document my whole journey. So when I do start it, I know, and people just see the brand and like, listen, the Lost Entrepreneur literally knows what he's talking about because he's been through this and he's been through that. And one thing I'm going to start doing, my whole background's about to change. I didn't say that yet, but my roommate that's staying here actually just moved out. So I have a whole nother bedroom and I'm about to basically change everything. You're not going to see this little thing over here anymore right there. Okay, the wall is going to be probably the same, but I'm going to try and change it up. But I'm going to have a whole room, and I can actually control my lighting and control the quietness and all that stuff. Yeah, and just my environment. I can have more space because right now, literally, what you guys see is my workspace. This is my workspace right here. Like you have that whole attic up there.
Yeah,
I got this little corner.
I got lucky. Yeah,
you can walk in my house. You look to the left. There's my dining room table. To the right, there's my work area. And it's like, dude, like if for the normal person, if they were to see this, they're like, bro, what is this doing in your living room? And I'm like, I don't have much space. Like I'm trying to do something for myself and I'm trying to better myself. And this is all the space I can give right now and that I have. And just moving to this bedroom, I'm excited for it because my wife's trying to start a YouTube. And when she does, I'm going to keep motivating her. If she's watching right now, you know I'm gonna keep motivating you.
Yeah, I'll subscribe too. I'll be a subscriber. Yeah, so for sure. Once she starts, man, I'll be one of the first.
Wife wanted to learn baking. I'm telling her people want to learn this stuff. She knows so much, and she watches his baking shows, and she's like, "I want to do that." I'm like, "You can." I'm like, "Believe in yourself."
Because I tell my wife, because I tell my wife all the time about you too. I'm like, it's funny because when I told her, so, the guy that keeps commenting on your video, I'm like, yeah, and I told her, subscribe to his channel. I'm like, me and him are like the same, we started out the same, and I tell her like, even though we never met in person, it's just like
it's a connection. Like
it's a connection,
you feel more of a brother than like people I know right now.
Yeah, same here.
Like,
and because because whatever you're gonna tell me, I've been through it, man. Trust me.
Yeah.
Like when I had the other room, which I'm gonna have it my photo. Once I get set up, I'm gonna do a video. I had very limited space until my brother moved out of here. And when he moved out of here, I'm like, yeah, I'm taking the whole attic became mine. That's how I was able to get that space. But yeah, I had very, very little space, but I made it work for me. I made it
Exactly.
work, and I didn't have no excuse. Oh, well, I have very little space. You know what?
No.
It is what it, you, and I've learned, and that's where I learned everything from the other room. That's why I wish I do have photos. Once I bring them up, I'll send them to your Instagram, but you'll see how very little space I had, and I was able to,
I'm
fortunately, I was
actually going
able
to
to
take
get
some
them.
photos and stuff before I move everything. So
Yeah,
take a video of, I'm actually going to do a video of me trying to change my work area. I'm going to do it in like, try and do it in a whole day. So I can actually record myself moving everything and showing you guys like what it looked like before and then what it's going to turn into. And
yeah, I can't wait, man. What do you think that's gonna
definitely,
happen?
definitely having a small workspace humbles you, because once you do get into a bigger workspace, it's like, all right, now I got all this space. Now I know what I
Same thing
need.
with me.
I know what I
Trust
can
me.
have. And now having this small space, I'm like, all right, that little hand press needs to be on this. I need this on this counter, that on that counter. Now I
Trust me,
got
man.
to do that space. But now, once I get this room, it's going to be different. And you got that whole attic. We're definitely going to be upgrading this. But this is growth. This is stuff that just
Yeah,
happens throughout life. I didn't expect not to have a roommate 2 days ago. But now I'm not going to have a roommate. Now this is going to open up. But once somebody sees the next video, they're going to be like, oh, look at his background. It's changed and all this stuff. They're not following like all the way throughout, like as if they're see the whole process.
yeah, exactly. Like for me, when I got this, first thing I did, man, I invested into that Gladiator workbench. Got a good deal on it. It's like a 600. Well, the time when I got it was 550, but I got a good deal on it though, $600. And that thing is a beast, man. I have like my heat press on there. Got my backdrop, my UFO. So I'm just trying to change a little things for my YouTube as well, but also make it to where I love being here, and I love like
Exactly.
doing what
That's
I'm
why I
doing.
made all this stuff right back here.
Yeah, I've seen it too. Like it's funny
Yeah,
because seeing your old videos when I first started watching you, seeing that, I could see like just the improvement. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
because I'm here and I'm like, I want to be comfortable in my work area. And just like even seeing this photo right here, this is when I went to my first football game. Professional. I don't know if college, I'm pretty sure college is considered professional.
Just some
I mean,
people it is. Yeah.
yeah, but I guess my first high competitive football game. That was the first one I ever went to. And my one that actually invested into buying this laptop, he's actually in those photos. I don't know if you can see in the thing, but he actually, when we went to this game and stuff, he made this personally for me. So it's handmade. So it has
Oh, that's
all our
sweet.
photos in there of
Yeah.
what we took while we were at the game. And it's actually blue and orange for the Florida Gators because that's the game we went to. And even experiencing that was like, oh my God. Because I come from not the richest
Same
upbringing.
here. Same here, man.
So
Same here.
experience and stuff, like even if I go to
You want to talk about it?
even if I go to a zoo or something like that, it's like something that's like new to me. Like all this stuff would be new to me, like an aquarium and everything like that. So even having that memory in my work area is something that like excites me now, because now when I'm working, I do a t-shirt. Literally, I could do a shirt and look straight up and see that moment.
That's that motivation right there, man.
Yeah, it's a motivation.
Yeah.
And he invested in it. So just having a part of him that's sitting
Same
right
thing over here.
is just like, all right, I know he believes in me. So I can actually do it because I believe in myself too.
Yeah, that's exactly, man. That's the best thing. Sometimes just having that one friend that just understands. They don't have to understand, but they could. But
So yeah,
they want to support you. I'm just trying to
yeah,
find the right
support.
words. You get
Yeah,
what I'm saying? They're not going to judge you. You know what I mean? They're not going to be like, if I buy you, like for example, your friend wasn't like, wasn't judging you, being like, oh, you just want to buy this so you can play video games, for example.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
he didn't judge you. He knew what you wanted. Same thing with my
Yeah,
buddy. And to this day, man, like, I'm not gonna do it, but like, if let's say I really wanted like that sublimation printer, I can just call my buddy and be like, hey, I kind
exactly.
of need it. Guess what he'll do? He'll send me the money and like, go buy it. right away. But I'm not using him for that. I'm using him for his support. Just someone that I can talk to. That's it. You know what I mean? And uh, that's the best feeling in the world. Just having someone that believes in you like that. You know what I mean? And not only that, but talk about experience, man. Like I got married, in May in the Philippines. I know my wife for almost 5 years, and just going to the Philippines, man, it's a big experience. And you want to talk about this business? This business is huge in the Philippines, man. But they deal with the big vinyl cutters, but it's just brands that I never heard about. So I went on their Facebook marketplace, and they have heat presses, but heat presses that brands that you never heard about. That's
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
common to them, but it's foreign to us. But yeah, I
And that
mean,
just shows how big this world is. Like
yeah,
you just because you start a brand, just like that, you went to a whole different world
Tupac
and
is
just
huge in the Philippines.
two
Where I
different
was
things.
at,
Yeah,
Tupac. Yeah, all you see is these young kids wearing Tupac shirts, just represent, something from the United States, something from the East. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And Tupac is huge there. I mean, I've seen a few shirts with Easy E, but Tupac and Michael Jordan, but especially Tupac. Like where I was at, like I can go to like a market and they will sell like custom shirts. You'll always see Tupac, and it's just, and that's and see Tupac in on itself, it's a brand.
yeah.
It became a brand, and that's what we're trying to push, man. Is that one day I want Cosmographics, um, my Cosmographics to be huge somewhere else, and people can recognize, can recognize this logo, can recognize that, and that's
Exactly.
and that's amazing. Because I'm saying like, wow, like a lot of Tupac, and you know, it just shows you like if you're a good positive influence, it will spread. But if you're negative,
It is.
it's not going to get far because you're going to stop the negative.
And then I feel being negative just takes too much energy. Like you have to want to speak negative on somebody. You have to actually physically put the energy towards it. Being positive or supporting somebody or even being happy for somebody, you don't really need to do much. Just even
Yeah,
just a smile or a congrats or even one word.
like I'm
Or
happy for Big Boy. He's doing
exactly.
his thing. I wish I
And
could go on his live show, man.
yeah,
Just we were talking about it, but I'm happy for Big Boy. That's motivation right there. He's doing
yeah. And
actually has his own ink too and everything
I'm
like
gonna
that.
talk to
Actually,
him and try and get you on there.
yeah,
I'll talk to him and try and
I
get you on
appreciate it,
there
man. I
because I was
appreciate it.
actually on there
I've seen that. I've
when I
seen
first
that.
started, and
I've
I
seen
had
that.
issues with my camera and stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know how it is now and if it got better, but when it first started, I was like lagging and everything like that. And uh, yeah, but I definitely want to try and get back on that live. And then again, me and him started at the same time, around the same time. When I found him, he was only actually he found me when
He
he
found me
found
too. He found
yeah,
me too. Yeah.
and I was at he was at 100 subscribers, if even that. But now he's over 1,000 plus
2000.
and 2,000 plus. See, the last time I looked was over 1,000.
Yeah.
But then again, if I was a negative person, like the friends we are talking about, or anything like that, I would be jealous of his success.
Yeah.
But I'm not jealous of him. I'm actually so proud of him
Yeah.
because, like, seeing from when we first had that webcam, that conversation, to where he's going now, I knew it was going to happen. Like, I knew he was
Because
going to
he put
blow
the
up
work. Because he put the
because
work
he
in.
put in the work. He has a product he's given to people that's actually good. He has the information that you need. He's not only selling something, but if you need to know about it, he can talk to you about it. Like the printer, from setting it up to converting it to even downloading the program or which program to use, he knows the ins and outs of everything. So, especially that, and he had a team with him too. I know when I first started it and I seen the growth that he was picking up, and he told me he has a team with him,
That's
and
pretty cool.
that's what made me think like I need a team, like I need
That's exactly why I want to
yeah,
connect with, like for example, I like people's success, but if someone like, but I'm trying to find a team, like for example, like people that are in my same situation and how we're gonna come up, how we're going to succeed.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's why I like to come on here and talk so we can help each other out and give each other advice. Or, you know, like for example, like if let's say you need transfers right away, you can also hit me up and I'll just charge you for like what it costs me to do it. You know what I mean? Because that's how we do it. We help each other out. We help each other succeed, and that's the motivation right there. And like
And
I said,
as a good friend and as a fellow entrepreneur, just even you saying something like that, even is all that I needed, like all I want.
yeah,
And when I
exactly.
do get it from you, I'm gonna pay what somebody else would pay. So if you were gonna charge 5, I'll charge the 5 to support your business because I want you to succeed. If I was that negative person or that one person in that life, these people want stuff for free. They want, like, they just
Exactly. Yeah.
want, and don't return anything. I
No.
appreciate what you just said, how you
No.
will
Yeah. For
set
sure,
the
man.
transfers whenever I need. I
Yeah.
definitely need that connection right there.
Yeah.
And I would definitely be willing to pay whatever you're willing to sell it
Yeah.
for.
I'm just saying though.
I'm gonna support you.
Yeah. And I know you would. That's the thing. That's why I like come talking to you because you know and a lot of people don't get it, man. Where we starting a business is not just about buying the equipment and the supplies. It's just there's a lot of things that go into, and I had to learn that. And there's a lot of hidden costs too, and I'm pretty sure you experienced that
Definitely a
too,
lot of hidden
where you
costs.
think that you're close. Nope, there's a big setback. No, I wouldn't call it setback, but there's like a bigger budget that you didn't realize you needed.
When I
And
first started, I thought I would be done by now. I
same
thought I
here,
was like already, like, I thought I would have had everything situated in a year.
same
But
here, same here. Until my
another
mom
thing,
told me to calm
yeah,
down. You know,
that's another thing. When you said that, I wanted to touch up on it. Is just the patience. It's just being patient, knowing that the success will come. Just don't try and force it. Take your time. Do what you have to do. Everybody moves at a different pace. Like I just in this one live, I named a couple YouTubers who are on different levels. T-shirt side hustles over 100,000 subscribers. Uh, Big Boy Prince is reaching 2,000. Me and you were under 1,000. Like this is all different levels, but we're all in the same business,
yeah.
and we all interact with each other, and we're all trying to connect and collab, and basically help each other get bigger. Because that's the only way you're gonna become successful is
It's by
having a
connections.
team. Yeah, connections.
That's
If you don't
big.
have a
Yeah, baby.
connection, you ain't gonna get into the game.
And if you're jealous of someone's success, you're never going to be motivated to do better because you're just because see that's the thing how jealous people work. They're looking, for example, let's say I'm going to be jealous of Big Boy. For example, let's just say I'm jealous, and I'm seeing Big Boy, making, you know, these sales, making these profits, making this money, and I'm jealous. My focus isn't about me learning how to do shirts. My focus would be so jealous of Big Boy to where I'm gonna go broke, and Big Boy's gonna keep getting that money. You
Exactly.
get what I'm saying? That's what jealous people do. You know what I mean? That's what when you're jealous. See, when I look at Big Boy, I'm like, man, if he can do it, why can I not do it? You
Exactly.
know? So
And
I
I
gotta
seen it
hustle.
firsthand. Like I
Yeah,
seen it from when he first started to what he is now. Like he's growing so quick,
yeah,
and just having uh, that foundation of a Facebook group, because he did start a Facebook group. He has his own Facebook group. I don't know if
yeah.
you know that,
No,
but if
I'll
you,
definitely join it. Yeah,
yeah,
for
definitely
sure.
join in there and just definitely just having that core where people can come find information you provide is definitely something that's a good thing too. So I don't know if you have a Facebook group or anything now, or I was thinking
Um,
if we're going to be doing this live podcast, maybe we should maybe may either make it a weekly thing or something
yeah,
and
yeah,
create it as if
like a podcast.
like an episode. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's what
mean?
I'm saying. Yeah, yeah,
And actually
exactly.
create a name for this. We can even do a new YouTube channel under it or whatever you want to do. I don't know if you want to,
Yeah, I don't care. We can do
yeah,
that. I
create
don't
like
care.
something something podcast or whatever. We
Yeah,
can talk about it behind the scenes and get it all together
yeah,
and do it
for
like
sure.
that. But just so
Yeah,
we have a platform so when we're speaking, we can go live onto there and have all the
yeah, I'm down
information
for
for
that.
everybody.
I'm definitely down for that. You see how the connection, how it just opens up different opportunities, different doors, man. That's why you gotta be surrounding yourself with positive people, man, because
Exactly.
with this business, you gotta be see if let's say you have a whole bunch, let's say you're the only positive in your business, everybody around you is negative. Your positive should be worth way more than anybody's negative, because at the end of the day, who's going to suffer? You are, not them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And the thing, though, let me talk. This is why you got to talk to people, man. You can't be shy. For example, my boss, which I consider a friend, I know like for 9 years now, I think. When I started this business, I didn't know he was doing it, but I was just telling people like, "Hey, I do this." And when I found out he was doing it, I would go to him, and he's so knowledgeable about everything. And let me tell you what he did when he first invested into this. He was doing everything, and he realized, man, I'm doing too much. So his buddy had a shop already, so he just took all his equipment. His buddy's doing shirts, and he's just getting a percentage from it. But I'll just talk to him. So one day he came to me, and he was just like, he's upgrading. He got like a more advanced one than this. He's upgrading his heat press, upgrading everything, and he was selling. And at the time, this is before I went to the Philippines. So when I came back from the Philippines, went back to work and everything, and I told him like, "You still got that printer?" He's like, "Yeah." And I told him like, I gave them an offer, and he accepted it. And then in the same conversation, because he knew like I just got married, he knew like I'm trying to get my funds up again. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give you a better discount on it. So he gave me his price, and I was like, wow. And he gave me the program too with it, which cost $1,100 alone just for that program to run that thing. $1,100, and gave me a full set of ink, a little bit paper. He basically gave it to me, and I was ready to go. And that's why you need to be connections with people, because you never knew who's gonna help you, man. Because if I never talked to my boss about it, he would have sold this to someone else.
Exactly.
He would have gotten a bigger profit, but sold it to someone else, and I never would have known about it. But by me talking to people, you never know how they're gonna help you. You never know.
Exactly. And sadly, guys, we're getting close to the end of the live where I'm gonna have to start wrapping it up. But if you guys tune in and you watch this talk, I appreciate it, of course.
Appreciate it too, man.
I just want to get a shout out to all my subscribers, all my true subscribers. I am at like about 280.
I think you're at 260. 260. I think you just hit 260. Yeah.
But just even reaching that, I appreciate every single one of you guys, because you don't have to subscribe and you don't have to watch me, but you did. So I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Sharing the information.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to get this.
Like I said, it's that motivation. Yeah, for sure, man. Like, I can't wait. And like I said, man, if you're getting close to, I definitely would recommend getting this. I'm definitely going to set it up. Once I get my...
you should do a video on how to set it up when you do
it. But before I do it, I got to go to my bank and open up a business bank account.
Yeah, business bank account. We can talk about that on the next live.
Yeah. And then once I do this, I mean, like I said, once I do it, I'm gonna come and share my experience and how I did it and everything like that. But man, I can't wait, man. Yeah,
definitely.
Oh, and before I go, I am gonna send your stuff out very soon. And like I said, I get you 3 transfers. One of them was kind of messed up. You seen the video where the paint kind of came off a little bit, but it was still pretty good. It's not really noticeable, but I'm hoping they work out for you, man. And I hope you like the shirt, man.
Definitely, I'm definitely gonna try them out. Try out the transfers. I'll do a video on everything once it comes in here.
I can't wait.
Unboxing it, the whole experience, so everybody can see. And I'm gonna try the transfers. Don't know if it'll be successful, because, like you said, the press is going to be different. But I had 3 tries. You said 3 transfers, right?
Yeah, 3
so
transfers.
I got 3 tries to try and get one.
Yeah,
at least one on a shirt.
Yeah, the last one with the alien, because that kind of represents my channel and represents you. So make sure that one's the last one. You know what I mean? But if it does get messed up, I'll send you another one. But I would recommend you getting heat transfer pillow though.
Yeah, I am definitely gonna buy that probably today, honestly, because I told you the other day I was gonna get it. But I'm looking at ones that I'm buying, and I'm definitely gonna pick that up. Because little purchases like that ain't too much. Like buying little purchases like that ain't nothing. It's just making that big purchase when it comes down to it. So before we end the live, guys, make all the small purchases you want. Just make sure you got the money to live on, because all the little things matter.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Just that vinyl back there is
Exactly.
for a customer, but it means you know what I mean. It doesn't matter how small or how big. Everything comes together, man.
Yep. But appreciate everybody joining this live.
Appreciate it too, man.
Appreciate Cosmos Graphics. We guys maybe gonna go live next week again.
Yep.
Probably same time. We'll see.
We'll see, man.
Appreciate you
Yeah.
guys.
Well, we'll keep in
And
touch. Yeah.
keep you guys updated. I'm gonna drop another video soon, and tune into Cosmos Graphics. He's gonna drop some videos too, and just keep tuning in.
For
We're
sure.
gonna have a ton of information. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
Appreciate it too, man. All right, man. Well, thanks for having me, and I appreciate everybody. And I'll catch you guys on the next one, man.
Peace out, brother. See you later.
Peace out. You too, man.